Biden administration, transgenderism, that transgender extremism is a high priority for the Biden administration. One of the troubling developments in recent years is the left's decision, pursuant to some really crazed transgender extremist agenda, this kind of effort to destroy the family, the usual left's assault on our institutions, family, childhood, literally childhood. They hate children. And one of the ways they attack children is by sexualizing them. And one of the ways they've decided to do that is through having adults who are men dressed as women or dressed as that type of performer, sexually related content generally, come in and read stories designed to advance the notion that it's appropriate for that somehow this is appropriate for children to be exposed to, a man dressed as a woman, and in a weird sexual way in front of children. So that's been kind of a big battle. Parents don't want their children exposed to this. And so what's the response of leftist government officials and school officials? They promote it. And of course, culturally, it's promoted as well, because anyone who opposes the sexualization of children is attacked by the left media. I mean, that's how evil our culture has gotten these days. And it's infected our Defense Department, the Biden administration. Transgenderism, the transgender extremism, is a high priority for the Biden administration. And they're destroying our Defense Department, destroying our military to advance it. And they're also, if necessary, not if necessary, we literally have the proof they're targeting the children of service members. We have documents showing that from the Defense Department that the U.S. Air Force hosted drag story time and other drag events. Now, drag story time is designed to appeal to children. There you have it. There's one of the documents we just uncovered. The documents were obtained through a May 5th, 2023 Freedom of Information Act request we sent to the DOD by Judicial Watch and Catholic Vote Civic Action. The Defense Department issued at least a half a dozen no records responses to the FOIA request until finally releasing these records to Judicial Watch and Catholic Vote Action. So we knew it was going on generally, but we wanted to know what the details were so that we could focus on how to stop it and educate Americans about what was going on. We got about 25 pages of documents. There's a June 10th, 2021 social media post, and there's the cover letter. We get the nice little cover letter. Let's just scroll down the document. I want to show our supporters what this is what we get. So go back up a little bit. So these are all the folks, by the way, that were waiting and looking for information from. You see the Air Force Combat Command and the Space Force and Pacific Air Force and other places. So it takes time, they tell us, to have all those separate defense agencies respond. And then go down to the next one. So this is an interim response. So these are the search terms they use: drag, drag show, drag event, drag story, and pride. And so this search specifically located 25 pages, of which 13 pages are fully releasable and 12 pages are partially releasable. And so it looks like there was a lot of going on at Ramstein and Vogelway. Is that how it's pronounced? I guess it is. I don't know. Air Force Libraries. We're celebrating Pride Month with our very first drag story time. Our local drag king, Sauvage, will be reading some of our favorite stories about what makes each of us special. Story times begins at 10:30. Virtual story time. Keep on going down. So these are the two books. Go back up. I want to look at those two books. One is Karomo Brown, I Am Perfectly Designed. I looked at that book. It looked okay. This other book is completely depraved. The hips on the drag queen go swish, swish, swish. Why would any child be... Look at a man dressed as a woman like this. Why is this being focused on children? Now, if adults want to participate in drag show events, I guess that's their choice. Why on earth would the Defense Department, that's supposed to be protecting America, be spending tax dollars on this? And that's what they're doing. Let's go up. So this is what we do. We get the documents and we try to highlight what's important about them. So keep on going down. There's another advertisement. There they've got the propaganda flag. Drag streams, there's another ad, another story time it looks like. And then they got Club Drag, 18 plus. 18 plus, drag karaoke. Special guest from Monarchy of Royalty. Does that look like it's appropriate? 18 plus. Adults only? So is this like some sort of sex event? And so on and so forth. And so there's more promotions of this activity. Another Pride thing there. Drag show, another drag show. Love is Love drag show, Peggy 18. Well, why is this going on with our troops? Drag bingo night. Now we have emails where they're back and forth organizing everything. It's just awful. And then at the end there's an invoice. Let's go down to the invoice. The last page, I think it is. It's not. You got to put it back up on the screen. There it is. Go back up a little. You'll see the invoices from Miss Lexi Andrews, drag queen, and he's a good businessman. He's got his invoice to the 423rd Force Support Squadron in the UK. The invoice for services provided, $400. Looks like she had 2 performances, or he had 2 performances. So this is what your tax dollars are being used for, folks, and Judicial Watch exposed it with our friends at Catholic Vote. As I wrote in our press release, let me sit down here so you can see me. Ugh. See, getting in and out of the chair feels like I'm 56 sometimes, you know. How on earth is it appropriate to spend our limited defense dollars on promoting these sexually themed events for children and adults rather than advancing our military's mission? Which, by the way, is to identify and kill the enemy. Let's be blunt. As we see in these troubling Air Force records, our nation's military is being ruined by woke ideology. I think we had a quote from our friends at Catholic Vote. The Department of Defense has once again proven that radical leftist ideology is more important than military preparedness and protecting Americans from tangible threats at home and abroad, said Tim Hillskamp, who is the Catholic Vote senior advisor. And he's a former congressman. Good guy. After an entire year of stonewalling, the DoD finally returned materials from just one command in one branch, which confirmed that what we feared, that taxpayer funds were being used to promote drag shows and radical gender ideology on military bases and with full approval of Air Force leadership. So this is today's military under Joe Biden. So we're facing potential wars in Europe and in Asia. I mean, these are the Air Force forces in Europe, which are on the front lines, almost literally. This is what they're spending their money on. With, by the way, the support of Congress. Congress knows generally this is going on, and they could have, again, put in restrictions on this activity, but they failed to do so, the House Republicans. They couldn't get the votes, and they were unwilling to do anything to shut the government down in order to kind of protect the public and the military from these abusive, propagandized programs, propaganda programs, I should say. Because there's a very limited market, I would presume, for this activity. And what it is, when everyone on the base or within the command is getting this, they see where the politics are, right? And they know what they have to do and believe in order to advance. So it isn't just the attendance at the event and the fact the event's taking place. It's the promotion of the event as if it's normal throughout the military. That's the propaganda. That's the brainwashing. That's the signaling. You're on board or you're not. So this FOIA request, as I've discussed, is quite broad in the sense that there are a lot of folks who haven't responded yet to us. So more could be coming. There's a lot of work to do here in D.C. It's not just cutting government spending, it's also making sure that spending isn't occurring to destroy the country and attack our children, sexualize children. Adults engaged in sexually themed activities with children with our tax dollars? Is there a debate about that? That it should be supported? Where's our leadership? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.